What is going on, SoFi fans? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to give you a good breakdown of things that you need to know for this upcoming week, some of which could be a nice justification for us to get out of this negative downtrend that we're currently on. But before I do, making sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe is always greatly appreciated. With that though, let's get right to it. So a couple things I just wanted to say is personally I feel that what is happening to SoFi as far as the negative downtrend is complete BS. So largely we were having a nice trend going up, especially piggybacking off of the Q2 earnings, but then there's just a lot of negative things. So right now the biggest fear is that interest rates are increasing. It seems like the market does not know exactly what happens with SoFi or other banking companies, because hypothetically when interest rates increase, these companies such as SoFi make more money. So it's backwards to see them going down 5.24%. So in the end though, what people are trying to do is just link saying that there's going to be some form of a recession that does happen. But the way I see it, SoFi is always and has been seeking quality customers. So very high FICO scores and definitely those making substantial amount of money. I believe it is around 160,000 is the average. So in reality, a lot of these customers of SoFi are quality customers. Whereas technically, if you look right here, Bank of America, they were only down 2.21% on Friday. But they have, if I can say it correctly and without offending anyone, they have lower grade customers because they accept any and every one just to meet those quotas as far as customers. But at the end of the day, they are not quality. So in the case of a potential recession, yes, Bank of America, I would be worried for. A lot of other banking sectors or companies, I would be really worried for. With SoFi, not necessarily. So it's one of those things you need to do your own due diligence, take a step back and kind of just realize what SoFi can actually do. And definitely just take a look at the Q2 earnings and the stats around that. That in reality is speaks volumes. And I keep saying that. Keep in mind though, I'm not a financial advisor, so do your own due diligence at the end of the day. And outside of the fear about raising interest rates, unfortunately there is SoftBank. So SoftBank, we all know hypothetically has been selling a lot of shares. Based on their last 13F, which was submitted on August the 15th, it indicated that they had 95.2 million shares in Q2. And based on the last submission, which was on the 17th, it shows that they only have 45.4 million now. So arguably they did drop 50 million. So at the end of the day, some people seem to be very happy about that. Me particularly, I always like to have whatever company I do invest in have a very substantial institutional backing. So again, I'm not too pleased the fact that they're dumping as much shares that they are, but based on their actual recent quarterly earnings, they lost, I think it was almost 27 billion. That is mind-blowing. So they're clearly just trying to mitigate some risk, and at the end of the day, it is business. That's plain and simple. So not particularly happy about that, but it is what it is. So potentially SoftBank might be selling this week as well. So that's something you just need to factor in. And in addition, we might potentially hear about the student debt. So that's something you need to factor in because August the 31st is their deadline that they have to make a decision by. So that might be something that we factor in. And so getting right to it though, as far as what could cause us a reversal, if you want to call it that, I just want to quickly show you some economic data. And as far as what is coming up, so Thursday, August the 21st, that is when it's going to be kicking off. So technically GDP. So GDP numbers are coming out on Thursday. That potentially could be a very good sign. So right now, the previous was negative 0.9, forecast is negative 0.8. So again, similarly to anything else such as CPI data, if it does come in higher than expected, that could be a very good sign for the broader economy, giving us a nice rebound. So that might be one positive thing to get us out of the downtrend. And coincidentally, the following day is PCE numbers. So that is coming out on Friday, August the 26th. Right now, there is no forecast, but clearly a lot of people do realize that the Feds use the PCE numbers as far as a good indicator on what they're going to be doing for their interest rates. And hypothetically, this is the last data that they are going to receive before they make their decision rate. So I think it goes all hand in hand. Hopefully, if this is very low, then most likely we should have a very, very good rebound from this, because that would indicate that there technically might not be a huge rate increase in September. So it all goes hand in hand. But despite that though, institutions are still continuously buying and have been buying this whole time. So they're buying the dip. In reality, they're buying all the shares from SoftBank. And you can even see this is all the transactions from the dark pool from Friday. So pretty substantial. I'm just going to show you briefly. These are all the transactions that happened. So by no means institutions are taking a step back. If anything, they're increasing their purchasing on SoFi. So that might be a very positive thing. As well, over and above this, just to give you some more data points, things that might be influencing the price for this upcoming week is shorts. So shorts have always played a very interesting, sometimes unnecessary component in the broader market. So a lot of people really watch this as a good benchmark, myself included. A couple of key takeaways from the short interest, just to give you a good update on this. 15.28 is the short interest. So in reality, it has gone down quite a lot. So roughly about almost a month and a half, even 2 months ago, it was at 25%. So it's gone down a huge amount. On Friday though, it did go up 1.66%, an additional 1.95 million shares being additionally shorted. So that's something you just need to factor in and kind of just keep in mind. The cost to borrow average though is 2.32. So it's very, very small, and utilization is 69.92, and that's gone down roughly about 21% from 1 week ago. So it is what it is. Can't really change any of this. Let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comments below as well. Let me know your thoughts on this upcoming PCE numbers and GDP. If you think that they're going to be good, and then potentially, like I just said, it could get us out of this negative downtrend, which was largely prompted by just a lot of fear and SoftBank. Obviously, they go hand in hand. Again, let me know your thoughts on SoftBank, because based on Twitter, a lot of people are out there saying that SoftBank selling is a good thing. So I personally don't get that mentality, but I could be wrong. Like I said, I'm not a financial advisor, just a big SoFi fan, and plus I love money, right? I love making money, and theoretically investing in SoFi in the long term is a good way to do it. That's how I see things, and that's my mentality I have. But with all of that, just want to cap it off with some technical analysis, and like I said, give you a projection of where things might be going for this week. So I do have the 5100 200-day moving averages, Bollinger Bands, RSI, stochastic, momentum. Momentum clearly shows number of retail investors have just gone down quite a lot. Basically, ever since the earnings is kind of diminished over time. And unfortunately, like I said, it just goes hand in hand with the amount of fear. Stochastic, there is a pretty big deviation starting to occur. So red line above the black showing a little bit more of a bearish sentiment wanting to form. On the actual chart, we did break below the 50-day moving average, which is typically a pretty good indicator on a downtrend is starting to develop. So if you do match that coincidentally with the stochastic, then hypothetically it might trend down. So this is why I'm saying it's going to be very important, either this data coming out from Thursday and Friday, to get us out of this downtrend. Unfortunately, how I see things for next week, most likely we will actually be negative on the Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, just piggybacking off of that fear from last week. That's obviously how I see things. So I think, like I said, Thursday, Friday are going to play a very important role in the grand scheme of things, and hopefully get us out of this downtrend, if you want to call it that, because I personally feel SoFi has a ton of opportunity to offer, and in reality it's going to be a very big deal. Just need to practice a little patience, that is all. But with all that said, I appreciate you guys watching. You guys have an amazing weekend. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and all of that fun stuff. It's always greatly appreciated by doing that. And if you do like my channel, want to support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen, which again is always greatly appreciated. And with that though, let's all make a lot of money on SoFi.